Hey, yo, what's going on? This is Ricardo of the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we're about to get started with Open Mic Live. It is Thursday, September 22nd. This month flew by. And we are about to get started. So, as always, a word from our sponsors.
At InDigital, we know the public safety professionals hold themselves to a high standard. In fact, standard doesn't do it justice. In over 25 years working alongside you, carrying millions of calls over our IP networks, your dedication has inspired us. That's why our ESI Net goes beyond industry standards, not only I3 compliant, but designed to adapt to future development for a network you can count on when it matters most. Learn more at indigital.net.
Carbine, it's multimedia. You can get text, translate to whatever language, getting away with the legacy equipment and going into a cloud-based solution.
It's the first time in U.S. history that we have an EZNet through cloud-native call handling.
As a police officer, to have the victim go video, that's unheard of.
You're getting upgrades every month, not every year.
To schedule your free Carbine demo, please visit carbine.com/WTT.
If Within the Trenches has ever taught you something, open your eyes to what it is like to be a 911 dispatcher, or has inspired you to become one, then help support us and join our Patreon. Get exclusive bonus content, one-of-a-kind swag, discounts on merchandise, ad-free early access to new episodes, and much more. To join, please visit patreon.com/WTT podcast. And if you're an industry partner, we have something for you as well. And now, for the show.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
Dispatch.
There is no one over here to cook our lunch. We are waiting for our lunch, and there's no one here to cook our lunch.
All right, calm down. Where are you at?
The group home. Now, what are you going to do?
We'll get some help over there for you, okay?
Welcome to Open Mic, where we visit the lighter side of dispatch, because laughing is good medicine. Oh, yeah. Welcome back. Welcome. It is Open Mic Live. It is Thursday, September 22nd. And man, this is going to be fun. I'm excited. I've been waiting, and I've been doing a bunch of stuff this past week. Holy shit. I have. There's a lot of stuff that's been going on, but as always, this live broadcast is sponsored by InDigital as well as Carbine, and a big shout out to patrons as always. Thank you for everything. And a quick shout out here to my homie Stacy out of Alaska, sent me some awesome coins here as well as a patch. Very nice. Thank you so much. I love it. Love it. That is very cool. I appreciate it more than you know. I'm really excited, man, because next week is the Indiana conference. And I think it's been about 3 or 4 years, maybe closer to 4 years since I've been there. And every time they've had it in the past. Well, of course, for 2020, it got canceled like everyone else. But even before that, it was going up against Navigator and the IAD, and I kind of have this this partnership and stuff since, I don't know, 2015, 2016, something like that. And I've been going there, and they were going up against each other and stuff, so I was always there. But now I am coming back, and it is going to be good to be back in Indiana to do not only the keynote, but I'm also going to have the podcast there. I'm going to be in the booth, and I'm going to be recording episodes with attendees, but also, man, on Monday, there is an awesome event that's going to be going on, and that's for 911 Wonder Women Inc. And it is going to be a hell of a good time. So if you are going to the conference, or even if you're not going to the conference, if you just want to go to the event and hang out and chill and stuff, here is the link right here. Make sure to check it out and register. Head out there. It is going to be an amazing time. So make sure to hit us up. So we're going to be there, and it is going to be such a good time. You are not going to be sorry. But also, we've got some people that are jumping here in the comments. So, Shannon, what is going on? Austin, what is going on? As always, we check in with each other on Thursdays here on Open Mic Live to see how you're doing. How are you feeling? So, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty, of course, and 10 being awesome, how are you doing? I'm pretty good. I'm at probably an 8.5, 9. Earlier, I was probably at like a 6, only because something happened with my contacts. Like, I think it's because I've been working on the print press. I've been printing a bunch of shirts, but also on the heat press. I've been doing a bunch of hats and stuff. As you can see, I've got some right there that I'm bringing with me to the conference. And I think it might have been too hot, man. I might have been too close to the heat, and my contacts were like, because my eyes got super dry, man, and they were burning. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna put some Visine in there and see if that helps. And it was so stupid. It did on the outside, of course, but where the contacts were covering, didn't do shit, of course, because it's not getting in there. So as soon as I took them out, ooh, I hit the microphone. As soon as I took them out, it was just like, they started burning like hell, like crazy. They were burning, man. So more Visine, and they're pretty good now, but they still kind of sting. And usually I wear contacts when I go live because I'm on for, an hour, sometimes more, and this light is right here, and my eyes start drying out and stuff. But when I have my contacts on, it kind of blocks that. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens here. But also, roll call. Where are you watching from? That as well. Throw your number in there. And as always, please throw in some reactions, and or this way, right? Yeah. Throw in some reactions, and share this broadcast on your feed or your favorite dispatch page. Get some more folks up in here as well. Episode 460 went out yesterday. That was with John Barney, and he's out of Melbourne PD, and that's out of Florida, not Australia, out of Florida, and also co-founder of Goldline Support. It was an excellent episode. Make sure to check that out. Episode 461 is it might be this one. It might be this one that's going on right now. This might be the one that goes out on the main podcast as well, because we're going to be sharing a bunch of fucking stories, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So this might be the one. This might be it. Otherwise, I'm going to be recording a bunch of episodes over at the conference next week, as well as recording Imagine Listening. Okay, so let's get right into this. Also, if it's your first time here, throw that in the comments. Mike, homeboy Mike Aurora, what is going on? So the I Am 911 movement. Dan? Oh, no shit. Dan Hoffman, what is going on, man? Oh my God. I haven't seen or spoken to you in a long time, except, well, of course, like on Facebook and stuff. Your daughter Lindsay is at ACCD. Dude, that's badass. That is awesome. Hello, sir. Hello. Ah, Dan, that is awesome. We used to work together over in Allegan. That's so cool. So 2016 is when I started the I Am 911 movement, okay? And then a few months later, well, that's more like 6 months later, because this ended up being May 2017. I had been trying to figure out a way to get more of those of the I Am 911 stories out there. So what I was doing was I created Imagine Listening, and I started reading the stories, and I had them in podcast episodes. And I thought, man, it would be awesome to be able to get in front of a group of folks at a conference or something and give everyone the chance to share their own I Am 911 stories. But it would be an hour session. And again, I was building this up. I wasn't sure exactly how this was going to go down. And I wanted to give everyone the chance to share their stories because it was therapeutic. A lot of people were sending in messages and still do, saying that it was therapeutic to be able to share their own story. And I thought, what if we were able to do that in a session? An hour-long session, but only for 30 minutes. The first 30 minutes would be I Am 911 stories. But then the last 30 minutes would be all the funny 911 shit. We would share funny 911 stories instead. And start off emotionally intense and then finish off with laughter. Because of the situations, the situations are what we are laughing at, of course, but also our own personal, like, open mic stories, like funny shit that happens to us and stuff. So it was a crazy idea. Again, I wasn't sure how it was going to go down, and when the conference was coming up, the Indiana conference, again, this is May 2017. I was telling my good buddy Rob Big Mac McMullen what I was going to do, and he's like, dude, how do you think it's going to go down? I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know how it's going to go down, but I'm excited. Like, I'm scared, nervous, but also excited to see how this goes down. And if it goes well, maybe I can take it to other conferences and do it too. So super, super nervous. Everyone is in the room, and it is like standing room. It was super packed, and Rob and I are on stage sitting behind a table, and I'm looking at him like, all right, man, well, here we go. And we started doing Imagine Listening. No one wanted to share a story. Like, I explained it, this is going to be your chance to share an I Am 911 story. And, you can say it out loud. You can either say it in I Am 911 form or just simply say it however you want to say it. And it doesn't have to be a horrific story, one that you've been holding in. Those are the majority of the ones that people share. However, it can be a save too. But I also told them, not to worry, that the last 30 minutes we were going to share funny stories. But still, nobody wanted to share. No one wanted to be the first one. That's what it was. And I ended up looking at Rob, and he's like, what are you going to do? It's like, I don't know, man. And then I said, you know what? If you want to write it down, how about that? If you feel more comfortable writing down the story and then handing it forward, we'll read it for you. And man, just people just started ripping papers and had pens, and people just writing and writing and writing. I remember we were looking at each other like, oh shit, like, this is okay, here we go. And then there was a lady who stood up, and she said she wanted the microphone, and she shared a story out loud. And then another person, and another person. And it was powerful, man. It was something else. And it's been like that ever since, doing Imagine Listening. From that first time, May of 2017, at the Indiana conference, every time after that has been powerful. And people just sharing and sharing and sharing. And again, these episodes are recorded, and or these sessions are recorded rather. And there are 2 episodes in there, because there's the Imagine Listening and then there's Open Mic. So you've got 2 different episodes there. And it was something else. I was like, we're doing it. This is a peer support session. So let's keep going. So, like I said, next week is my first time back to the Indiana conference in a few years. And I'm excited to be back because I'm going to be doing Imagine Listening. And this is going to be on Tuesday. So this will be on Tuesday, I believe it's the 27th, and it'll be from 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern time, and we're all going to be in there, and we are going to do Imagine Listening again for the first time, where it all started. Whew. It is going to be sweet. I cannot wait. Keely, hey, what's going on? Can't you come to New Jersey, Nina? When is that one? Or let's plan it. So this is one of the things that I want to do for everyone who's watching and listening. One of the things I want to do for 2023 is to go to the state conferences that I have never been to before to do Imagine Listening, but also to record episodes with attendees for the podcast. So there you go. That's one of the things I want to shoot for, is to go to the conferences that I have never been to do Imagine Listening. And Keely, let me check my schedule, but I might have that time. I mean, of course, if you have a spot open, just go in there. We're going to do Imagine Listening here in the hallway. But yeah, that would be pretty awesome. Just saying. So because it's open mic, woo! Because it's open mic, man. I'm going to play the episode, and we're going to listen to some of these stories, and we're going to discuss, man. This is going to be good. So let me change the audio here really quick so that you can hear my audio that's coming in as well. Do you imagine listening in a bar? Open mic in a bar would be pretty fun, man. It would be funny. Oh, that would be some funny shit. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and start playing this, all right? And the intro that you're about to hear, the intro that you're gonna hear is still, it's got the music and everything else. I know you already heard the intro and the promos and stuff. There's no promos in this. But I'm playing the intro because Rob and I are talking back and forth during this time. So again, we're gonna play the episode, but we're gonna talk about these sessions, about the calls, because they're pretty funny, man. They are pretty funny, and every time I did Imagine Listening and open mic after that in Indiana, it was just so much fun, man. And all the other conferences too that I've done this session at, it has been amazing. It's the same premise. However, all the stories are different every single time, which is what keeps Imagine Listening fresh. And I just love doing it. This is episode 147 of Within the Trenches podcast. And as I said in the beginning of this broadcast, I just put out episode 460. That's how far apart these are. All right, here we go.
Creepy music.
This is Jordan, and you're listening to the Code 7 Podcast Network.
Jordan was on his picture yesterday, too. It was going through.
That's right. Warning. This episode contains the 3 A's of podcasting: adult content, adult language, and awesomeness. You've been warned.
You can already hear the audience in the background.
Welcome to Within the Trenches. True stories from the 911 dispatchers who live there.
I can see all of this in my head right now. It's crazy. Good afternoon. This is Ricardo with the Code 7 Podcast Network, and this is going to be episode 147 of Within the Trenches. I'm recording live from the Marriott East in Indianapolis, Indiana, and this is the 2017 Indiana NINA APCO Conference. And
we've got a live audience here, along with my guest, show favorite, Rob Big Mac McMullen. How's it going, mofo? Just say something, stupid. Come on.
It's all right. It's all right.
And of course, we have, like I just said, the live audience. Hello.
Okay.
Holy crap. We just finished the first ever live audience episode of Imagine Listening, and that was...
If I wouldn't have been on my crazy pills, I'd been bawling like a baby.
Oh my God. That was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I had to give you some of those stories to read because I read through it first.
Yeah. I was,
and my lip was quivering. I was not going to be able to do it.
I saw the tears popping out.
This is very true. Let me stop this right here. I remember that first Imagine Listening, man. And when there was a stack. So I had a stack of stories that people had written down, and Rob had a stack of stories, and I would read one and then he would read one. And while he was reading one, I was reading as fast as I could through the next story so that I could kind of get, the idea and feel of, the entire written story there. But man, some of those, I couldn't do it. I couldn't read it because as I was reading it, it was just coming out, man. It was trying to hold it back and it was hard. And I look over at Rob and he's like, give it to me. And he's like, I'll read it. But then, it was the same. Like he would read one or try to read one. And I'm like, I'll read it, dude. And we kept going back and forth.
Yeah, exactly.
And then everybody else in the audience too. It's very quiet in here, and all you hear is sniffling. And
oh shit, he said the Q word. So if you're watching at work right now, I apologize.
Stuff. We've got people using boxes of Kleenex they've taken out of their hotel room that they're going to get charged $300 for later, right. and everything else.
But you did say that I should have some sort of I Am 911 or Within the Trenches branded Kleenex or some shit. So
probably not
that
Kleenex.
would be...
That's probably...
Oh, I can't see Kleenex. Oh,
not Kleenex.
My bad. Don't sue me.
But some sort of tissues.
Something to clean my face from crying like a motherfucker. Yes.
Or just a napkin. Or
that would work.
Something.
Yes. Okay.
Maybe we
won't say the K word.
Maybe we'll just write I Am 911 on it.
That'll work.
It'll have a lot cheaper.
That works.
We'll steal it from the...
Last year at this conference, did the first ever Within the Trenches podcast open mic with a live audience. And it was amazing. That episode has been downloaded probably about 20,000 times now. And
because of me.
Shit.
Whoa, wait a minute. Was that 2016 then? So we're hearing a newer one. That's great. Okay, let's keep going.
It's because of our audience. It was because of the thin gold line. Everybody telling their stories. It was amazing.
That's right. We hadn't called it open mic yet. Oh, okay. We'll get back to that. Hold on.
I suppose.
But it quickly switched to like very sexual and crazy.
Yeah. It's like we all know where you guys are thinking.
I thought I had taken some crazy calls before, but I thought, holy hell, like these are nuts. I mean, someone here, I don't know if that
some
person...
of them literally were.
Well, that's right. Yes. Some of them were nuts. Yeah. They dealt with that part of the anatomy. Yes. But there was someone here, and I don't know if the person is here or not, but they told a story about this guy who broke his junk while hanging.
Yeah.
There she is. All right. So yeah, the guy broke his junk while trying to hang a mirror.
Yes. Okay. Let's stop right there. What are your thoughts? A person called in saying that they broke their junk while hanging a mirror. Like, how does that happen? I think we end up talking about it a little more because the person who had shared that story was there. Keely says, how does one do such a thing? Exactly. That is my question as well. And Shannon as well. What? Right. I don't know. I'm not sure.
That's what we said. I was like, how does that exactly happen? That dude had to have been 1, naked, 2, at attention, and right. Yes. Just
But
and
maybe he turns himself off.
something. I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe he was hanging the mirror from his junk.
Fuzz, what's up? What kind of mirror? Yeah, I don't know. Hold on. Let me see.
Oof.
Wow. Could be.
It could be. And what we did was we had, the dispatchers tell funny stories. And I say open mic because we all know that when you are on the radio
Australian
and
right there. So open mic.
I said Mike.
Oh, it sounded like you went Australian right there. It's
No.
like, oh, crikey,
Mike-
open mic.
No. So, you have an
Yeah, why call 911? I'm not sure. Well, because his junk got broken. It was broken. Like, I'm not. I almost made a motion. I'm not going to. Oh shit, that would have been bad. Okay, let's continue.
open mic situation where in my old piece at my dispatch center, we had a piece of shit radio system, and the button that you would, to use to key up would stick. So, I'd be on the radio and it would stick. I'm hitting it, and I'm saying all kinds of words. And they didn't tell me in the beginning that it still goes over.
Yeah.
And I thought it just, it didn't do that. But I'm, swearing and stuff, and it goes over like, oh, Central, you all right? Shit. I'm all right. I might get written up for this, but you know what? I don't care.
It happens.
I was still there. I lasted long enough. But so that's how I wanted to do this. Have some funny stories. It doesn't have to be an exact open mic story, but let's talk about the lighter, funnier side of 911 dispatch, because this is the type of stuff that ends up on late night shows, on the news, and everything else. And our mic girl, he just started dancing. Jared, my homeboy, is going to come around. So if you have any stories that you would like to share, please raise your hand and let's do this. Let's get into it. And
oh my God, here we go.
But he raised their hands.
So I had
one person has a story?
myself had an open mic story, but one of my dispatchers had an open mic earlier this year, taking a call, and just so happened that the traffic that went over is, I wish these effing supervisors would do their effing job.
Oh no.
And it wasn't dispatch supervisors, officer supervisors.
Even worse.
Yeah. So, she told me what was going, hey, I just had an open mic. Okay, cool. It happened, whatever.
Okay. So have any of you had that happen where, and maybe not just you, but somebody else in the center who doesn't know that they're keying up and is talking shit to those out in the field? Wait, what does this say? Bro, I had a guy call me from a hotel earlier this morning saying he's from Philadelphia and his wife needs 911. I asked him why his wife just didn't call 911. After a long pause, he says, man, you're right. I'll tell her to call. Oh, that's hilarious. That's like a call that I heard about once where this lady called. Okay, she called because she locked herself out of her house. Okay, so she called, locked herself out of the house, wanted an officer to go help her basically break into her own home. And so dispatch is like, okay, well, is there anything else that we need to know, before the officer gets there? And the lady's like, yeah, so I'm out front right now, and I can't get in. However, my garage door is open and the officer will be able to get into the house from the side door. Never mind. You can tell the officer to never mind. Can you imagine? Dude, I would feel one, stupid, but also just horrible. Like you you end up locking yourself out of the house. One, okay. You call 911 for assistance, right? But then you give directions or instructions rather for the officer to be able to get into the house through the garage door that you left open and the side door is open from the inside of the garage, then you're like, never mind. I just saved myself. I get, shit happens. It happens. Especially when there's an emergency or someone feels as though they're having an emergency. All common sense goes out the window. Even for us, man. Even for us. It happens to everybody. Keely says, we had swollen... Dude. See? Just like when I was in dispatch and I would try to give out a BOL, I wouldn't always read it. And it would be like this, where I just start reading off whatever's there. And I'm like, oh. So Keely says, we had swollen testicles the other day. My dispatcher was so serious putting it out. I can just imagine, like, let's see, it would have been, I don't respond. Respond to a male subject with swollen testicles. I don't know. That sounded like a movie. In a time, in place, where a gentleman has swollen testicles. Coming this summer, 2020. Oh, that didn't sound good either. Oh, man. Oh, that was bad. That was really bad. But hilarious at the same time, so... Oh, that means two things. Oh, jeez. Exploding soon. Exploding soon, summer 2023. Oh, man. Oh, so as Keely is saying here, this is like the same band, but with like a special guest. Coming summer 2023, hot Vegas baloney with special guest, swollen testicles. That was the pyros. That was the pyros. Oh my God. Oh, let me go back up here really quick. Oh, absolutely. The neighboring county was dropping a lot of fire tones, and my partner turned up the scanner, and it turns out it was a bullshit call. While he was turning up the scanner, the box caught the edge of the table, and right over the primary channels, he got keys and says, "Who effing cares? Everyone in Scannerland heard it." Oh man, this is hilarious. Shannon says, a few winters ago, we had a lady go through an automated car wash. Well, in the 5 minutes it took, what for it happened, the doors to the building froze. What? Wait, are you serious? So we had to send the FD out to rescue her. Dude, it was wintertime. Why the hell was she in the car wash to begin with? Oh, that's crazy. The building fucking froze. Oh, wow. And yes, Keely, please get me the tape. I want to play that. Yes. Yeah, Fuzz. Yep, that's some Final Destination shit right there. All right, hold on. Let me push play on this again.
Well, about 10 minutes later, I get a call from the assistant chief of police in local city.
Snap. Shannon.
It's like, did you hear that? What went round the world? It's like, well, no, I didn't hear it. I was told of it. He said, pull the tape. So I pulled the tape.
That's the worst.
I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. So it was like, and then he went on, blah, 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 blah. We don't trust. Suspensions came, radio restrictions came through for
Very
that
true.
person for the next 30 working days. And
Holy crap.
it's not that she cared, but it was. And when I told the sheriff, he's like, well, truth hurts. So,
that's a good sheriff.
He was all about it.
Luckily, it wasn't his supervisors, but anyway,
that might have been different.
Yeah, it's just the way it goes. It happens all the time. Open mics and everybody makes a big deal. You had an open mic. Well, you know what happens? This is technology. Technology is not foolproof.
Open mics are fun.
Just probably need to, if you do have an open mic, just kind of maybe back off. Watch what you say a little bit, dropping an F-bomb now. It happens. But when way you say it, just calm down. Easy. Easy killer.
Exactly. Yes. Anybody have a story? Come on.
Come on.
This is true. Yes. Let me put that up.
Good.
All right. From the right side.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Oh, I know. You walked yourself all the way over here. Now you gotta go back.
Friends on the left side. A thunderstorm warning for home.
Oh, nice.
I was working dispatch one night, and we had another dispatcher who was a licensed masseuse.
Oh, sweet.
I'm working radio. He comes up behind me, and he starts rubbing my shoulders, which he did all the time. Not a big deal. Well, when he started rubbing my shoulders, he hit my chair, which hit my foot pedal. About that time, I leaned back and I said, oh, God, that feels so good. All of a sudden, everybody's eyes get bright big. He puts his hand over my mouth. He pulls me back. He starts pointing. So immediately I'm quiet. And then one of the officers says, radio, would you care to elaborate? Then all the phones rang.
That's awesome.
Amazing. Thank you.
You got another one.
I was taking the usual, I don't know if it was night shift or not, I can't remember now, where someone was in the window looking at someone, pleasuring themselves outside. So we go through the whole routine of what's he look like, blah, blah, blah. And in the middle of typing all my comments, she said, and I was masturbating too. Okay. So, it's like you're typing your comments, you just keep typing your comments because that's what they're telling you. So apparently both of them were pleasuring each other, but that must not have been enough because she called us. So every time I go by that apartment complex now, I think about those two people, whether I want to or not.
Okay, I'm glad you added that it was an apartment complex because originally I was thinking you were meaning like it was in dispatch. You had one person looking through one window, the other person looking through the other window.
We have been schooled on what sexual harassment is, and if both parties are agreeable, there's not a problem.
Gotcha.
Dude, I don't remember this episode. I mean, I remember being there and I remember this going down and it's coming back as this is playing out, but oh my God. That is crazy. Oh man, and all of you are cracking me up in the comments. This is great. Oh, if you are going to be at the Indiana conference next week, holy shit, this is going to be something. All right, let's continue.
Yeah, I've had to watch those videos in HR before too, so it happens.
Thank you both. That was awesome.
That was great.
Shit.
Somebody yelled out, "We're hiring."
In the mail.
I know, right? Damn.
Oh man,
that's freaking awesome.
How about the friends on the left side? Our left side. Losers, come on. Oh, we got one right here. We got two. We got two.
Excellent.
No, they can't be outdone. Now, right side, you're gonna have to come up with something. We're gonna have dueling sides.
Hell yeah!
Just to make
got
Jared
some competition going up.
worn
in here.
out.
Actually, my story's pretty lame, but
Hold on. Before we get to this lame one, I want to look in the comments here really quick. Keely says, "Oh my God." I don't know why I read it like that, but that shit was perfect. That reminded me, when I had a guy having a panic attack recently, the wife tells us she needs an ambulance. The dispatcher asked the normal question, what was he doing prior to this? What may have brought it on? She says, well, this is embarrassing. The dispatcher says, ma'am, it's okay. She said in a whisper, he ejaculated. Oh, wow. Woo. See, Zach says, man, I dispatched for 2 rural counties in PA. The only thing outside people's windows are cows. Keely says, another tape flagged and QA'd. Oh, that's great.
And we're in a new center. We're co-located with their SWAT departments. Put something out, and one of the people.
No cities.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. I can take that out.
Which I did. I did take it out. That's why you didn't hear it.
That was excellent.
Said something, and my partner said to that dispatcher, "Did you say body or party?" And at the same time, I had bent over with my fat roll, hit my mic, and I went, "A body could be a party." And yeah, it went out.
Excellent. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you.
Good.
Oh, snap.
Mine's not really an open mic, but it's just dumb stuff we've said on the radio after.
Hey, it's all good.
You say something and go, oh my gosh, I just said that on the radio. So
right.
One of the deputies called in a plate for a motorcycle, and we all.
This one I remember because the look on our faces and everyone in the room was.
Know those vehicle codes can be confusing sometimes. Well, my mind also wasn't working at the time. So when I saw that 1985 black KAWK, my mind immediately thought, I don't know what make that is. So how do I say that on the radio? Can anybody guess? Yes. So I called out a 1985 black cock on the radio. Oh, awesome. And within moments, it was in recording to my cell phone. It's amazing technology these days. So
nice.
That was my radio blunder.
That is amazing.
So it was Kawasaki, right? Oh man. You know, sometimes that happens, right? Sometimes that happens. Oh man. Some of that shit, dude. That is funny. Like there would be certain plates that that the officers would run when we had newer folks coming on, and it would basically be to see if they would say it. Like a name, I'll just say the first name. Well, spell it out. It was PHUK. And a lot of times people said it, and I was one of them who said the name and the last name. and everyone is laughing, and I was like, why are you guys laughing? And they said, say it slower. And I was like, oh. But I didn't care. I was doing my job, man. Oh, man. Shannon says, I gave CPR instructions to a lady who were in the middle of it, and the dude went into cardiac arrest. Were you helping out Rose Nyland from the Golden Girls? It was, she was so worried about not being dressed. We did CPR on him for 20 minutes. He really done sent it. What? Don says, like the trooper that ran a DL on me, it was. Oh, man. Dusty. Can you imagine if it was an R and it was Rusty? Like, either way, both are bad. Good God.
Holy shit.
Funny. That's a good one.
We're going to call that one the Magnum, dude.
Trusty.
Very nice. That was good.
Wow. Amazing.
Oh, shit. All right, who's next?
Oh, in the back. Exactly.
Well done. Go.
Go, Jared. It's your birthday.
I can see Jared right now because he would go like this.
It could look like one of the bushwhackers.
Yeah. From
Yes.
wrestling, dude, in the 80s. That was nice.
Luke and Bush.
Yeah.
We got some old wrestling fans here. We got it. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, man. Okay.
I had gone from being a police dispatcher to the fire department to be a fire dispatcher. And the captain on duty, who was in charge of communications, came in with a bunch of file folders. And he wanted to know if I could help him with the report. And I said, sure. And he said, have you ever done this kind of thing before? I didn't know that he laid the file folders down on the mic. And I said, no, but I'm willing to learn. The phone lit up like a Christmas tree.
Oh, my God. Yes.
A bunch of dirty-minded folks in here.
That one right there, I will never forget because of the way she says it. No, but I'm willing to learn. Dude. and adding the other person's part as well, because if you put the folders down and the mic keyed up and it was already hot, then all you would hear is, well, have you ever worked on one of these before? Well, no, but I'm willing to learn. Dude, like, this is the stuff that happens in dispatch sometimes. Hi-yo. Let's see. Shannon says, we also had a frequent flyer who would call just because he was lonely. Well, it took an awkward turn when he was open. What? Dude. Like, what do you do? Do you send someone out for a welfare check? Sounds like trouble breathing. Priority 1, lights and sirens. Dude. Wait, what? We had a nursing home 911 call a few years ago. They told one of my partners they had a patient who had grayish green. Oh, what? Really? When it came time to dispatching it, we told, whoa, hold on. There's a bunch of them coming in. You can't read it. Hold on, let me scroll back. When it came to time dispatching it, we told Oh, you told him he had no balls to say it over the radio. Needless to say, he had balls. 87-year-old male, abdominal pain, and having grayish green. See, however, was that person able to say this over the radio without laughing? Or like any change in the voice? Because if it was straightforward and professional, like, well done, man. Like, well done to being able to put that out. And you know, a lot of us get calls like that where you have to put something out where you're like, all right, here we go. And you just do it, and then afterwards everyone's like, yeah, yeah, like, well done. Like, I wouldn't have been able to put it out there. Oh shit. Uh, Absolutely not. Yeah. Oh man. Keely, that's the key, the level of serious, right? Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm getting you the swollen balls tape. It's so serious. This is why I work night shift. Dude, except for a small stint when I was in dispatch of working mornings, it was and of course, you know, if there was overtime or whatever, there would be some mornings there, but it was all midnight shift. That's all I worked. So stuff like this, yes, this type of stuff happened, and it was excellent. It was excellent working night shift. Let's see, this other one here says, one of my first phone calls came from a local hospital, a woman saying, what? She continued saying, hey, what? She's still a regular. Wait, this person still calls? See, now some of those, like well, and you know what? I don't know. I think there's no, there might be no rule and stuff, because we would get a lot of people who would call from like nursing homes or wherever, and they would call all the time, right? And we would be talking to the nurses, and they're like, we can't do anything. Like, they have to have that phone. You know, I guess because it's like a liability thing, right? And so they can't take it away. And you just continue to get them. I don't know. It's interesting. It is definitely an interesting thing, because we would get a lot of calls. But yeah, I'm pretty sure, at least in the area where I worked, and those homes there, it was basically like a excuse me, like a liability thing. Like, they had to have the phone, like the phone had to be there, part of the policy or something. Wait a minute, let me go back in here. Keely, we have had like 5 swollen balls calls this week. What the hell is going on over there? Wait, where are you guys? You're in Jersey? Maybe I don't want to go to New Jersey, Nina. Something crazy seems to be happening there with all the dudes and stuff. I don't know, man. Isn't that where like the Jersey Devil or whatever it is, like Mothman is? I don't know. I don't know about that. Oh, and this one is stay out of Arkansas. Well, shit. So there goes the wanting to do Imagine listening at conferences that I've never been to before. Oh man. Okay, hold on. Let me get back to this here.
Oh man.
Wow.
This is the shit that happens in dispatch.
Always. It's always.
Oh my god.
Didn't I just say that?
Oh,
I like how you put that with your voice. And
that
stuff.
that was. It's
Yeah.
like, no, but I can learn.
I'm willing to learn.
I've actually got 2. The first one, my partner was taking a 911 call, and I was listening in on it, and he's like, "Yeah, I need to report a drunk driver. It's heading southbound on such and such county road."
Good job.
And he's driving a red Camaro, and he was just going on talking about it, how he's all over the roadway, and he's like, "I also need to confess that that driver's me."
Oh no.
Criminals are not always smart.
I think.
Okay. So this is probably going to go over, because there's still a lot of time left on this episode, which is fine. This is what we do here, right? And we have fun. So how many of you have had a call like that, where someone calls in, Sounds like a BOL. Person's all over the road, right? That's usually how it comes in. 911, where's your emergency? Yeah, so I'm on the highway going northbound. There's a vehicle in front of me. It's a red four-door sedan, and it's all over the road. Okay. They're also like they're going pretty fast. Well, keep a fair distance. If you're continuing to go their way, just be safe. You start going through the whole thing. But then the caller says, I'm the one who's driving all over the road. Like this person is telling this story. How many of you have had that? I'm trying to think. I don't think I've had one like that where the person was calling on themselves. Whoa. Corey here says my first shooting was the shooter calling in on himself. Took me a few questions to realize I was talking to the actual shooter and not a witness. So I took a call like that once. But however, I didn't know that the person had done this to themselves. So what had happened was, the person called, right? And he called and said that he'd been shot in the leg. All right. Called saying he'd been shot in the leg, gave a description of the person and everything's middle of the night, and that the person had run to like the caller's barn and was possibly hiding in there. So we send everybody out there, right? And turns out there was no suspect. The person was cleaning their gun and accidentally shot themselves in the leg. They were just embarrassed. So they made up, the person made up the story that someone else had come onto his property and shot him out of nowhere and was hiding in the barn. And I was like, dude, are you serious? It was an interesting night that night. Yeah. I'll never forget that one. The person was fine. It was just like, it was but a flesh wound. But however, the person's pride was like gone. Let's see. Had a guy calling saying he was dying. I'm like asking questions to see why he's dying. Coming to find out, it was his first time smoking weed. That must have been some good shit. That dude was flying. In Spaceballs terms, that person went plaid. Let's see. Not that, but in my first year, I did have a lady named Felicia call, and she wasn't nice. So before we disconnected, I pulled the bye, Felicia. Yes. So I had something similar. Okay. Not a Felicia thing, but I had something similar once where there was this elderly lady who would call on nights, and it seemed like I was the one who would always get, the call from her. And we were talking, right? And she falls asleep and she's snoring on the phone and she's crashed out, and I'm just sitting there like, what do I do? And then it hit me. I am never, probably ever gonna get another chance like this. So I'm gonna take it. So on the phone, this lady's sleeping, and I say, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Because seriously, man, when would I ever get the chance, a moment like that? I had to take it. And as I'm doing that, like all my partners are like, and she wakes up and she's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay." I'm going to go to bed. And I'm like, okay, good night. And we hang up, and that was it. And everybody's like, dude, I can't believe you did that. And I said, when would I ever get a chance to do that again, man? So I had to do it. And I will always remember that, man. That was the shit. That was so much fun. I miss dispatch for calls like that. Keely, Fuzz, yes. Shannon, hell yeah. Oh man. Yep. You've been hit by you've been struck by smooth criminal. Ow. Oh shit. Woo. See, Carrie says, missed my opportunity to return a DL of Bond, James Bond. Oh, dude, see? That would have been a good one as well. That is so good. Yes, yeah, it's gonna be stuck in my head too. I'm gonna have to play it after this so that it can get out of my head. See, Fuzz says, had a captain whose last name was Kirk. Dude, for real. I would have done the same thing. Oh, that's the best.
Tested somewhere around 2.5 when they finally stopped him.
Jeez.
And the other one, we had an officer who was pretty young. It was my first week starting full time. Pretty young. He was out on a VIN check, and he's out there doing his VIN check and just finishes giving the VIN number. And at the end, you just hear him keep and go, "What the is that?" Got a call from the sheriff 2 minutes later saying, "Please tell me he didn't just say that over the radio."
You heard it, Sheriff. That was it.
I was like, "Yeah, that happened."
So what was it? Don't know.
He never said. He never wanted to admit to it.
I didn't say it. I swear I didn't say it.
Nice. Who's next?
Come
Who's
on,
got a
come on.
story?
Come on. Stories. Come on.
No, yeah, I got to
Come
go on
on,
the other side of
stories.
the room. Anyone ever get a license plate that, well, this usually happened to some of the newer dispatchers that were coming.
Oh no. I think I actually say the name here. Oh shit. I was telling this a little bit ago. Keely says Rutgers has an officer. Dude, like that would be funny. Yeah. Like officer cop. Wait. What? Okay, let me see if I think I say the whole thing on here.
And, kind of like a little initiation, if you will. And the deputies where I worked would hang on to specific license plates. And there was one that they
Officer
ran,
Law?
and I read it, and I knew what they wanted me to say, and I was all about it. So when I said it back, I said it came, back registered to, we'll just say a green 98 Grand Am to a Fook Me was the name. And everyone is looking at me and they're laughing. They're like, you actually said it. I was like, well, I got to give the information back. Like, why not? I don't miss opportunities like that. I'm going to do it. I am going to do it. See?
We had an officer that I got a call from the assistant chief, said, hey, I need a recording. Okay, cool. Whatever, not a problem. So he's like, from this time to this time, well, the officers were attempting to stop a supposed Bobby Boucher.
What?
On a, they
tractor?
They said it said one of the other officers said, is he on that lawnmower again? And I was like, yeah, he's on his lawnmower. And they just went on to this for, I mean, as soon as I started listening, I'm cracking up. I mean, I'm literally
I have to
dying
find
laughing
that
in my
tape,
office. And there's a couple of other officers that walk by. It's like, what are you doing? I'm like, listen to this shit. It's crazy. So, I mean, they're like, yeah, I hear he plays some foosball and the whole mama thing. And they just went crazy with this whole, it was like a 20-minute about trying to arrest Bobby Boucher on this. And I was literally laughing, but
Listening to some CCR,
yeah, it's like
Born on the Bayou.
so went to the officer, and then I got a complaint from them because somebody else heard it and they told that we were making fun of it. It's like, dude, it's not making. How could you not laugh at this? I mean, it's like they went the whole arresting Bobby Boucher for a warrant. He was held out at his mom's house, and because the tractor was out front, and it's like it was funny shit, but they didn't appreciate it. So
that's good stuff.
Yeah. Come on.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that you
we got over
have
here.
to kind of laugh at. It's like that one caller that I talked about a couple years ago. It was a caller that I spoke to. It was a domestic call, and they used like one of those voice boxes. So it was a
I'm pretty sure I've told you all this story.
domestic call that I took, and as soon as I answer the phone and say, Allegan 911, where's your emergency? I hear, I need help. And right, and I'm immediately thinking, what the hell is going on? The first thing that I thought of, though, was a speak and spell. If any of you know what a speak and spell is, that's the first thing that hit my mind because I heard this robotic voice. Well, this person was having a domestic with their, I think there's 20-year-old daughter. And we get through it. And again, I have to say, domestics are not funny. However, this call there was nothing physical, verbal only, no weapons, none of that BS. Okay.
Hold
So
on.
I'm going to put that out there. So the public that hears this, I'm not making fun of domestics, but this domestic was different. So I get towards the end of it and, I want to just make sure I've got all the information. I'm confirming. And I say, so this is all the right, information, right, Carl? And I don't hear anything. Carl, are you still there? My name is not Carl. It's Carol. And I covered my mouth because I wanted to laugh. And then she says, this thing makes me sound like a man. Ha, ha, ha. It was amazing. It was freaking amazing. So I had to laugh. So, the way you're talking about that, I had to freaking laugh at that moment. Probably the single most funny domestic ever besides the people that were throwing out spam and stuff. But yeah, it was good.
That one right there.
Well, your story just made me think of another story, so I've kind of got two.
Sweet.
So yes, that story will forever be something that I'll hold because Carol had it with my shit. Like I had actually been saying Carl the entire call. And the call lasted a while, man, because we had a lot of officers out doing other, they were on other calls, and they're trying to get there as fast as they can. Again, this was verbal domestic, and there's nothing physical or anything. It was Carol and her daughter that were just arguing, and she was calling for some sort of assistance. And I remember when the officers left there, like that was it. They just went out there and talked to them, and they're like, oh, we're just going to go to sleep. And that was it. Like, we never got another call on him or anything. But that was the thing, is that I had been calling her Carl the whole time. And it wasn't Carl. It was Carol. But she was hilarious because she said what she said. And so, she was laughing about it and stuff. So I had to laugh with Carol. And Steven here says, ran a William Clinton with the exact same DOB and received a call from the Secret Service within minutes. Dude. Like, that would be some shit. Like, that would freak me out, man. It would be funny and kind of interesting, right? To be running this information. But then for within a few minutes to have Secret Service call, I'd be like, what? Like, for real? This is going down? Oh man. Yeah, no, that would be nuts. That would be crazy. All right, I'm going to play these last couple and then we're going to wrap it up. I'll put the link in here so that if you want to listen to the rest of it, because there's still some time left on here to go through. But but if you want to listen to the rest of it, you will be able to, and it is definitely hilarious.
But it's one of those, a man, and I mean, I'm not kidding you. He sounds like a woman. I mean, through and through. And I kept calling him ma'am on the phone.
Yeah.
You know? And he got really pissed, and he's like, sir. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. And then I kept calling him ma'am, even after several times he kept saying he was a sir. It was like I couldn't process it because he sounded like a woman. I'm really surprised that I lasted as long as I did.
Well done.
Yeah, well.
Jeez. All right, we got another story coming up.
Go to the back. Yay. And he goes into the bush.
He's doing his
and he's
arm
going to the
motion
bushwhacker again.
Oh man, wish we could record his walk. Sure.
I think he would be Luke and
I got a call from an elderly woman at a payphone. She said her and her husband had gotten in a fight. So she slept out on the recliner. He slept out on the bed. In the middle of the night, he decided to come out and whip her in the head with his dick.
What?
Yes. Try to keep a straight face to try to get information from that was unbearable.
Whoa.
He ended up getting arrested because she had marks on her head.
Holy cow! Wow.
Was this like
little mushroom marks?
Dude. Yes.
Yeah.
That guy could hang the mirror, yeah.
What?
Holy crap.
Oh my.
Yeah, you can't make this shit up. This is the types of shit that happens in dispatch that people don't hear.
We got another one here. That's funny
Okay,
stuff.
So I just have to say this. I love my mother.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, easy.
My mother is very intelligent, but she is naive as a gnat very naive and has common sense of a gnat. So I took a call.
We love you,
and
Mom.
it was an Asian woman with a very thick English accent.
Mm-hmm.
If you can imagine.
What?
Yeah. And
can you do that accent?
I can.
Well, you got to do the story.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So she had struck a deer with her vehicle and was wanting an officer for report. And I asked her if the deer was still alive or if the deer was dead. She goes, "Oh no, deer's still alive. You send ambulance for deer?" And in the back of my head, I thought, oh, dear God, that's something my mother would say. So I ended the call with, "Okay, moms, we have an officer on the way." And I've done it twice more after that.
Nice. You know, that's like being on the phone and being afraid to say I love you right after speaking to somebody.
That was pure accidental. I'm not saying.
Yeah, so that is another one right there. Like I just said right there. That was one of the things that I always feared, is because whenever I would say, you know, I'm talking to a loved one, family member, whatever, I say I love you, but I say it, you know, like, all right, love you, bye. I say it really fast, and I never did, but I do remember a coworker who hung up the phone and was like getting ready to hang up the phone and had said it, and it was like, oh, wait a minute, and just started laughing and then said sorry and then hung up the phone, and she's just continuing to laugh hard. And I said, dude, what did you do, or what did you say? And she goes, I just told that person I love you at the end. Have any of you done that? It's okay to say yes. Oh man.
So I took a call from a female driver who was on an undisclosed interstate and had no idea where she was, like no clue at all. There were no landmarks she could give me, nothing. So I asked her what she could see, and she said only a billboard. And I asked her, I said, "Ma'am, what's on the billboard?" And she starts crying. And so, you know, I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, "The billboard." And I said, "Well, what does it say?" And she said, "How will you be judged? You're judging me, aren't you?"
Oh, that was good. Excellent.
Oh my God. That is hilarious. Keely says, no, but my ex-husband does it sometimes at the end of our conversations. Does that count? You can tell it's just how he ends his conversations, right? You're like, okay, have a good one. or you're like, thank you. I click. Oh, man. This has been an excellent time with all of you. Thank you so much. As always, man, open mic does not disappoint, and it is just fun to be here with all of you, sharing the lighter side of dispatch, whether it be 911 stories or personal stories or stuff that we did growing up, whichever. Last week I did ask something. What is something that you've hidden from your parents, like growing up or even as an adult? Like, what is something that you have hidden from them? And I'm gonna save that story for next time. Oh, it's so good. But also, next week is going to be awesome. So if you are going to the Indiana conference, I cannot wait to see all of you. Please go for Imagine Listening and be there for open mic. It's going to be a lot of fun. But also for 911 Wonder Women Inc., my good friend Sarah Weston of executive director and founder of 911 Wonder Women Inc. is going to be there doing a session. Also, a special event on Monday that's going on after the conference for the day has ended. There'll be festivities going on at a brewery and trivia. All kinds of stuff is going to be going on. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's also supported by InDigital. So excellent time. It's going to be going on there. And as I said before, one of the big goals for 2023 is to be able to go to conferences, to state conferences that I have not ever been to do Imagine Listening or to record episodes of the podcast. So hook me up. Send me something. I want to know. Let's figure this stuff out. Also, we are at 1.86 million downloads and heard in over 60 countries for the flagship show Within the Trenches podcast. This January 2023 will be the 10-year anniversary of Within the Trenches podcast. Damn, much has happened since the beginning. 10 years. Currently, 1.86 million downloads. Let's try to hit that 2 million mark by January 2023. Oh, man, if we can hit it, I don't know what I'll end up doing, but it would be amazing. Let's try to do it. But all of this that I do, all of that I just said wouldn't be anything without all of you and your stories and what you do for not only the profession, but shit for the world, man, is the most vital piece of public safety. The thin gold line, the I Am 911 movement, all of it. The era of the motherfucking headset. Thank you for what you do. Hold your head up high. Not many people can do it. We are part of a unique and amazing and crazy group. But we do a badass job. So thank you, all of you, for what you do. This live broadcast has been sponsored by InDigital as well as Carbine. Shout out to patrons as always. If you have any comments, questions, or you want to be a guest in the show, you can email us, and that is going to be wttpodcast@gmail.com. Once again, that is wttpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter. That is @91podcast. You can like us on Facebook. That is facebook.com/Within the Trenches podcast. And if you're looking for any bonus content or you want to become a patron to help support us, patreon.com/WTTpodcast. And thank you so very much. A perk for patrons only are audio versions of Open Mic Live, as well as the DRT and the media partner sponsor Spotlights. So make sure to check that out. And just thank you, man, for everything. I hope your numbers, wherever your numbers were at in the beginning, that they've gone up. Even if it's just one, even if it stayed the same, it's all good because you were here. And for open mic, we share stories and we try to find some sort of, healing, as well as finding closure through the power of storytelling all together. So thank you very, very much. It has been an amazing time as always. This can be seen on Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitter. And then for the flagship show Within the Trenches podcast, you can listen 24/7 on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. Have a good one, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one.